Hi everybody, Kyle Goeth here from GoatFromReviews.com and the Goat From Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my first reaction to the new David Leitch film Bullet Train. This is based on a book that I have not read. I don't know much about the book itself, except I remember there being a lot of controversy about the recasting of certain people, and I can't really speak to it because I don't really know the context of the book. But let me just say this. When people describe this film as having big smoke and aces energy, that felt like a compliment to me. And I think a lot of them felt it was a slight. And you know what? I really enjoyed the movie. Now, let me get out of the way of the things I didn't care for first, because there are a few of them that I think were a bit glaring. Number one, in these kinds of movies, there's a certain level of over-the-topness that you expect. You expect that, and you accept that. There's a line that you got to get to, though, and sometimes these kinds of movies go past that line just enough where the smallest little thing can lose its believability factor. Even though you've accepted all these other things going on, the smallest thing can damage that. There was a really minute thing that happened in the plot, and it wasn't even so much the believability of it as just kind of the, I don't know, the way that we tricked the audience with this plot point meaning something that didn't ultimately mean as much. It was more just a fake out of a plot point. A very small plot point involving a character, a character that we presume to be dead and isn't. And I don't think that really ruins the experience for you. There's some fake deaths. There's a lot of death in the movie, so I'm not telling you who's dead and who's not, but there's a fake death in the movie that I think pushes that unreality to a little bit of an extreme. With that as well, there's also some pacing issues. I'm not saying the movie is too long. I'm saying what they do with the time in the movie feels like it's not all the way figured out, and that's mostly near the latter half of the film. When I realized that the film was only about halfway through, and I was like, I thought we were kind of closing in. There's some stuff that happens in the last hour that felt like not so much that it could have been shorter, it's just if we reorganize some of the stylistic elements earlier on in the film to keep the pace going throughout the rest of it. I think 2 hours is a fine runtime for it. It's just the first hour of this movie runs. It runs really quick. There's a lot of interesting editing choices in flashback form to explain all the different characters we've got going on, and it was fun kind of getting. It did have smoke and aces energy. We introduced a bunch of really colorful characters and let them hash out their differences, if you will. That part kind of didn't work for me. There's also a few editing choices jumping around where it's really stylistically edited, but also kind of choppy in going from point A to point B edits. I was we're here now. Oh, we're doing that. A couple of those things happened. But beyond all that, I really, really enjoyed the movie. Brad Pitt, Oscar-winning Brad Pitt, is owning this character. He plays Ladybug, the main character, who's the guy who's basically said no to violence, and he's just trying to do smash and grab work now, and so he doesn't want to be violent, but he keeps ending up in violent situations. He's a guy who's fulfilled with bad luck, and he just can't get past it. It's really fun to see him kind of fiddle with that purpose and the fate versus luck versus all these kinds of things that are sitting on his case there. I also really liked the twins. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry are the twins, Lemon and Tangerine. They're really fun. They have a good dynamic together. This is one of those movies I mentioned recently in a Nope first reaction, the ability to provide flavor text, which if you played Magic the Gathering, it's the little italicized stuff at the bottom of the cards that just provides a little bit of extra character work, a little extra world building, a little extra something that gives you that kind of feeling and style. This movie had a lot of that, especially with those two characters, the twins. Lemon and Tangerine both have a lot of character building through their flavor text, through what they talk about, through their interactions together. They have really good chemistry together as two killers. In fact, I would say all of the killers in the movie, all the different assassins actually, a lot of them do some really interesting things with their characters that I was pretty impressed with. I wish the film didn't spoil so much stuff that was in the latter half of the film in the trailers, because there are some of that. It's not everything, but some of the stuff that should have been kept as a surprise, and really felt like the movie was setting it up as a surprise, got kind of ruined by the trailer experience itself, which I try to avoid trailers, but when you go to movies as often as I do, you see a lot of trailers and you see a lot of the same trailer over and over again. So that was kind of again, it's a problem with marketing, not a problem with the movie. I just wish that they weren't spoiled in the trailer. There's some cool surprises here. There's some David Leitch isms that, like, as they happen, I was like, well, of course I should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So that was kind of fun too. David Leitch is kind of going against the grain, and he's producing a lot of the stylistic fun that we would get from like a John Wick. John Wick is very stylistic, but it's very serious stylistic at times. And that's kind of a Chad Stahelski thing. And then David Leitch, who sprung off of that first John Wick film, has done things like Deadpool 2 and Hobbs and Shaw and Atomic Blonde and all these movies that have really had a wildly colorful style to them. And that's what his like signature is really working with right now, is I would say a upper class Michael Bay, if you will, where he's like really appreciating the bombasticness of his action, but it's done in a very stylized way. This is a very fun movie. I think if you're looking for much more than like surface level popcorn, you're probably not going to find it, but that's kind of what I wanted, was some surface level popcorn. And I really did enjoy the movie, and I can't wait to watch it again. I'm hoping for some big Smokin' Aces energy, maybe get ourselves a sequel. That'd be kind of nice. Maybe better than Smokin' Aces 2. I never saw that one. But let me know your thoughts on Bullet Train down below in the comments section. And as always, please like and subscribe. There are 2 free things that you can do that help to support my channel and make sure you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. You can find goatfilmreviews.com for my many written reviews. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And you can check out my other show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I do Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We get together and break down a film from the past, what we liked, what we didn't, and everything in between. Check out all those links down in the description of this video, and we'll see you next time.